Now it's time for us to create the beard for our character. And first thing we have to do is extract out a geometry that we're going to be used for our beard. So I think around this area, we could select the polygons around this geometry. Then this and this face area. And I know that I'm going to be having some hair emitting here, also here, and also around this area here. And I am going to still select some of the polygons here and extract some of the polygons there because we are going to have some leftover smaller strands of hair around this area. Okay, so we're going to be doing the beard similar to how we did the actual main hair, where we're going to emit some particle system and then we are going to create a hair map for it. And we're doing it that way because the hair for our beard is pretty much uniform and it's really not going a lot in different directions. Like the eyebrows here is just going in different directions. Of course, there's going to be some variety and some areas of the hair that's on the beard that's still going to flow a little bit differently, but it's not going to be as intricate as the eyebrows. So it's okay for us to do the same thing that we have done for our hair onto our beard here with creating a weight map. But yeah, first thing first is let's go ahead and hit the tab key and Shift Z. And let's go ahead and select some polygons that we are going to need for our character. And his area up to here. And I think could probably select, maybe there's going to be some ingrown hair here, some left over here on this area, very subtle. Okay, Shift Z. Alright, and I think go ahead and select some more around this area. And also here. Also here and here. I think I could get some around this area. And I don't think we're going to need to select any of the polygons on the ear at all. Do it again and select these. Alright, if I press Shift Z, you can see that there are some areas on the lips that are selected, which we don't want. Before we deal with that, I'm going to go ahead and deselect some areas that I selected here. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and select from here to here, here onto here. And I don't want the cavity of the mouth to be selected, so I'm going to go ahead and hold Control and just deselect these. Deselect these. So just look all around, make sure the only thing you need to select is the exterior part of the surface of the face, nothing in the inside. Shift Z, looking all around. And looking this side, just reviewing everything that I'm going to need for this part of the hair. You know what? I think I could probably use a bit more of the hair around here. Also here. Here you go. And I think this will probably do. This should work. So I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of this. Shift D, right click, press P, separate by selection, hit the tab key. And so we got this right here. And we go to our scope mode. And we could go to our filter here and inflate, and then just gonna drag this down. We want to make sure it's kind of inside of the face a little bit. Try again. And you know what, before we do this, we could also just Control A, all transformations, and then set origin to geometry, and then go to sculpt mode. I think this will make it easier for us to scale. See, there you go. It's a lot easier for us to inflate it. I'm going to inflate it down, more like deflate it, so it's inside. Here you go. I think I probably did it a little too much. Let me undo that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and slightly bring it down. Okay, I think something like that. So it's still inside. And let's go and press M and put it in our hair collection. And then make sure you rename this. I'm going to go ahead and name this Beard Sculpt. Alright, that's perfect. To create the hair, let's go to our particle right here and click on the plus sign and set it to hair. And of course, let's adjust the length right away. I'm going to set it to 0.01. And I think we could set it to maybe 0.02. And then for the hair number here, you go and set it to 300. Okay. And we could go and scroll down all the way to our hair shape right here. And I think I'm going to put it in the exact same properties that I have for my main hair here. I'm going to go select my main hair. And I'm going to copy the same properties that I have. So for the hair shape, for the diameter root from my main hair, I have 0.1 and tip is 0.04. Diameter scale is 0.01. Alright, I'm going to try to remember that. My memory is not that good, but I'll try to remember it. Okay, so over here, 0.1, 0.04, and I'm not sure about the diameter scale. I'm going to go back. Diameter scale for the hair is 0.01. So, yep, the same thing here. Alright, so I think that is great. Now we could also grab the same properties that we have for our kinkiness for our hair. So we want it to be a little frizzy, a little curly. So we want it to kind of look like this. So we could go over here to our main hair. And for the main hair, it's interpolated. So we could also do that for our beard. I'm going to go over here and then go to the children and set it to interpolated. And then maybe I could set the display amount to 50. Render amount to 50. We could adjust this later on if we need to. And then I'm going to go back to the main hair. And for that main hair here, going to the kinkiness. So I have set it to curl. And then the amplitude, I'm going to copy the amplitude that I have here. And then go to this one. I'm going to set the kink to curl. And amplitude, I'm going to set the same property as I have for this. Clump is at 1. I'm going to copy the frequency that I have there and paste that same value here. And also the shape. Yeah, I'm going to go and copy that. Go over here and paste that there. Alright, yeah, something like that. And I think we go to our roughness for this. So for the roughness, I have the endpoint at 0.003. And the random is also 0.003 and then size is 0.8. So I'm going to go over here. And also the random is 0.003 here. And then the size is, I think it's 0.8 is what I have. Yeah. Okay, so basically it's very much the same properties as this. Now, of course, we need to add a hair map for this, okay? Because it's it's not looking good if we have it like that, right? We need to let Blender know exactly where we want the hair to show. Let's go ahead and create our weight map for our beard. Let's go select our beard sculpt, Shift H to isolate it. And let's go and just hide the hair on our viewport display and set this 0. And let's go to our vertex group. If there's any vertex group that you see there, you could just delete them if you're not using them. I know that I have created a vertex group for my hair sculpt, which is called hair map. And we don't need the others that are showing here. There's really nothing that we're going to be using for this one. I'm going to remove those. And then I'm going to go ahead, Control Tab, and go to weight map. And then we could go to our draw. And I'm going to go scroll down. I have topology mirror turned on. And we could go and think about where we want the hair to go. So we're going to have some hair on the side for sure. I'm going to set the weight to 1. Red is going to allow us to see the hair. So let's go ahead and paint out the areas where we want the hair to show. Paint it red. So now we're going to have some around this area. I'm going to show a little bit here also. And some here. And I think as it goes to the side, we're going to see less hair. So I'm going to set this to 0.7 and then paint this like that. Okay. And then around this part here, I'm going to set this to 1. So got to paint red around here. And then also around this area. Looks like the mirror is not working on this side, but it's fine. I could just paint whatever I can in this area. It's okay. We could use a bit of symmetry. I'm okay with that. There you go. Go. And then we could go to our blur and just blur this out. Blur that out. Blur this out. That out. Do some blurring. And we go do some smudging. So for some smudging here, we could go ahead and smudge this so we could have some hair that are a little bit starting to fade out around this area. Some faded out hair slowly goes away. We don't want it to abruptly just stop. We want a little fade and a little bit of leftover hair showing, and thus we are smudging this. And this could go up slightly. Bring out this area. They have some leftover hair around this area. So on. And I know also around the neck, I want some leftover hair here. So I don't want it to just abruptly stop. So I'm gonna smudge this to kind of have a little bit of leftover right around this area. There you go. Yes. Great. Great. And coming around this area here. And here. Go. And then I'm gonna go to blur. Just blur this out. I'm gonna blur that out. And yeah, just take your time. Blur all these out. Blur all that out. And gonna go to the vertex group, and that's the group for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and name this, and the vertex is gonna call this beard map. Go to object mode. Okay, cool. I'm gonna select it again and go to vertex group and double check. Yes, it still has that vertex group name. And let's go and show everything. Select our beard sculpt. Let's go to our particle, and then let's link that weight map onto the vertex group area. And before we do that, we could go ahead and set the display amount again to what we had previously, set it to 50. That way we could see the magical difference as we plug in our hair map, our beard map. So on the density, we go over here and set it to beard map. And there you go. You can see that it's only showing where we had it. And of course, we could always go back and adjust it. So I'm going to go, actually, it's also a little too long. Looking at that's a little too long. So I'm going to go to the length here on my children and then just bring it down so it's not too much. Something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my beard sculpt. Control tab and go to my weight map. I'm going to adjust the weight map. I think it might be too much going on here. So I'm going to go to my smear. It's a little too messy. So I'm going to go ahead and just move this, smudge it so we don't have too much hair going all around. Also here, smudge that. Just clean this area up. Clean this area up also. Too much here. Clean this area up. And I think around this area I wanted to kind of fade out. So another thing we could do is we go to object mode, scroll down, go to our length and add that same map. Go to beard map. Alright, so that makes it look cleaner, a lot cleaner. I'm not sure if I wanted that clean. Let me think about this. Maybe I'm going to go back to my length and crank this up slightly. Something like that. And if we go to the beard sculpt, go to weight paint, and then do some more smudging to just kind of lift the hair up to show more of it here. So we get something a little bit dirtier. So just a little smudging. Pull this down. Okay. Bring this down, down. Lift this up here. All right. And I'm gonna go to my blur and just blur this out. Blur that out. Okay, let me see how it looks like when I render it. And I'm gonna make sure I go to my material and set the material to hair. Alright, then it's a little render to see what we're working with. Alright, very nice. Maybe I could see here. Maybe this is a little too hairy. I don't think I want it to be that hairy. So I'm gonna go back, go to my beard sculpt and go to my weight paint. And you know what? I'm gonna go Shift H and just hide it. Hide the hair for my children. Oop. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, I have a little issue here, so supposed to scroll this down, but instead of doing this, okay, I'm gonna go and save this and reopen Blender. All right, back in business. I'm gonna go ahead and set the display amount to 0. And then I'm gonna go back to my weight paint. So around this area, I wanna kind of fade it out slightly. So I'm gonna go back to my weight paint here. I'm gonna set this to 0.4. And yeah, just gonna go ahead. After I'm gonna set it to 0.35. And just add some blue here. Just going to just fade it out. And I'm gonna go to my smear and just gonna smear that. Like that. Alright. I'll probably add some around this area. Also here. Gonna just move in this direction. And show the display again, 50. Alright, and I'm gonna go ahead and show everything. And do a little render test from the front. Alright, that's better. It's not too hairy around there. And look it this way. Yeah, maybe I could check this out. Could probably add a little bit more hair in the actual face. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to my beard sculpt, go to my weight paint. Take a lot of tweaking, alright, for this to work. Around here. And then also add some around this area. There you go. So yeah, just by adding some leftover hair around this area gives it a lot more of that realistic feel. Okay, you don't want the hair to abruptly just stop. You don't want it to be hairy here and all of a sudden you don't see any hair on these areas here. So you want it to kind of slowly fade out. Yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. And I think this needs to slightly go up, the hair on the bottom part there. I'm gonna go to my weight paint. Yeah, I'm gonna go and lift that up. Around this area. And lift that up. Maybe I could go back to my draw and set the weight paint to 1 and add some hair here. There you go. And then go to smear. Smear that up. Wow. Let's see how it looks like. We'll render. And it's better. Maybe around here it could be even less hair around here. I'm gonna go to my weight paint and I'm gonna go ahead and smear this down. We got a little bit less hair around here. Okay, check this out. Okay, better. Much better. Yeah, I think I will stick to this one here.